Alright, how we doing, folks? Your boy Marco's 205 numbers after the name. Look at that, double XP weekend, double weapon XP weekend. So a couple weekends ago, man, they were putting out a ton of double XP since this game came out. I hate to say this, and I hope I'm kind of wrong, but I think this is the... I didn't really expect to talk about this. I was actually going to talk a little bit about Infinite Warfare, but it kind of reminded me when I saw these double XPs and all this stuff. It's kind of the beginning of the end of Call of Duty, right? Like, it's always going to be there. We're always going to buy it, you know, and it'll always be fun, entertaining. But in a lot of ways, if you look at games being and all that stuff, and you look at the evolution of my channel, I started off as a Call of Duty channel only, and now it's just 2 days of the week, and at one point, probably 1 day of the week or none days of the week, you know. And that's just because of how I play games. Even when I was playing Call of Duty all the time, putting up the videos, I was still playing a ton of other games. I just wasn't really referencing them that much on the channel, and I kind of want to diversify a little bit because a little bit too much Call of Duty could hurt anybody. And I think that's kind of what we've seen at this point, you know, especially with the double weapon XP. It kind of brings it up to the attention of the double XP, the double crypto keys, and all that jazz. They're really milking like this Black Ops, and they're really pushing to keep this relevant in a society where things just aren't that relevant that quickly anymore. You go and you look at a game like Pokemon Go, for example. Bumping, hyping, everybody playing Pokemon Go. I kind of feel like in a couple months we won't even remember fully like what Pokemon Go was. We won't be talking about it, you know. Call of Duty has, in a sense, kind of evaded that because it's always there. You know, we're always buying it every year, all that jazz. It's different, it's the same, you know, whatever. Black Ops 1, 2, 3. We're buying some sort of version of Call of Duty, and we're having a lot of fun with it. This time around, though, if you've noticed, man, just a double weapon XP and though everything, they're really trying to keep this thing relevant and push it. And it's difficult, you know, because the year-long life cycle we have to wait between games, although I don't feel it's that long to wait between games, people don't really want to do it anymore, you know. Overwatch came out. People want to play that. You know, Battlefield's going to come out before Call of Duty. People are going to want to play that. Battleborn, you know, came out. People want to play that. You know, it's just, especially in the first-person shooter market, it's just a constant turnover. So Battlefront, you know, came out. There's so much stuff going on that for a game to keep everyone's momentum, to keep a player base together, it's a lot more difficult than it was when Call of Duty initially came out. I mean, think back when Black Ops, it used to be pretty simple, right? It was like Black Ops, you know, 1 and Battlefield whatever, and, you know, Modern Warfare would come out and Battlefield whatever, and everyone knew that Call of Duty was better. You know, if you like this kind of arcadey more version of the game, if you want a more realistic one, then you probably want to play Battlefield. But if you want an arcadey fun game, Call of Duty ended up being better, and that was kind of it. But now there's so many options. If you go and look at this fall, man, I mean, it's going to be insane. Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, probably a couple other games that we don't even like fully consider in that realm, but that will leech off of it. I'm sure Overwatch is going to keep pumping out characters, and that's Blizzard, man. Like, those guys know what they're doing, man. Like, that's no joke. Like, those guys, they put down the money, and they know what they're doing. They create a fun game for everybody to play. It's going to be really difficult for Call of Duty to maintain the mind share of people in the first-person shooter genre. Still fully expected to be probably the top-selling game. That to me is not much of a question. People will buy it, you know. It's just a matter of actually continuing to play it. The purchasability of the game and buying it, that's simple. Yeah, everyone's going to go and say, oh, it's a new Duty, boom, copping it. Whether people actually pick it up, though, and keep playing it consistently for the user base to be entertaining, that's the question, you know. Ultimately, what makes Call of Duty great is the fact that we're all kind of in this together. In that sense, I'll compare once again to Pokemon Go, where part of the thing that makes Pokemon Go great is that we're all playing it together, right? We're all like, and I don't want to talk about too much about Pokemon because we'll talk a little bit tomorrow, but we're all playing it together. It's kind of the social experience. That's the same thing with Call of Duty, man. Oftentimes, when I would talk to Usani, it'd be like, yo, man, like, let's get on, let's play some Duty, and then we just talk about, like, life, you know, and talk about, like, what's been going on and stuff like that. And I'll do the same thing with I'll do the same thing with, like, a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of a social experience. I think a little bit of that bump, a little bit of that took a bump once the new systems came out. We all kind of split up. Some on PS4, some stayed on the Xbox, some just didn't. That kind of happened. And then the fact that there's so much other stuff going on, and there's stuff people going on in people's lives. You know, the further on you go in your adult life, and I don't want to be too sorry here, but the further on you go in your adult life, the less video games you will play. You know, I think there's kind of a line draw there, unless you're in the industry or something, or you make them, or something along those lines. So unless you have like 16 kids that really like to play them or something, then maybe you get a spike. But the further along, the less you're going to be able to play. Yeah, assuming that you're trying to get a family, all that jazz. You know, I guess if you're by yourself, you could play them all the time. But even so, you got to go to work at some point to afford them and all that jazz. So at some point in the line, you will not be able to play as many video games as you'd like. And between all those factors, I think you'll notice a dip in terms of Call of Duty's popularity and Call of Duty's influence in other genres and in other games. And in that sense, we kind of can see where Black Ops 3 is as opposed to what other first-person shooters are, where Black Ops 3 is taking a lot from other first-person shooters. Let's not fool ourselves, you know. Wall running was kind of a thing, and it was kind of a thing because of Titanfall, you know, and that was one of the big sticks that they had really early on, was that the better movement system and whatnot. The better movement system also came just derived because people wanted to play faster, people wanted to play smarter. You know, we were limited. We all talk about like boots on the ground now, like it was a very novel and great time, and the good part about boots on the ground was we were all very much on the same playing field, very much on the same playing field. Like we were all on the ground, you know. And then to me, it was a lot easier to shoot people like that. But let's not kid ourselves that brought head glitching, that brought campers, that brought a whole ton of issues with itself that were supposedly be corrected once we managed to do what we're doing in these games now, which is like flying around and dodging around and whatnot. And guess what? Now a lot more is up to player autonomy. And although we like that and we say that in theory, I think the needle's kind of shifting towards we don't really like that, right? Because it's a lot more difficult to shoot people in the air. It's probably the reason why you never saw me play Halo, you know, at least multiplayer. I ended up buying the Master Chief Collection. I played through all of them now, even Reach and everything. I'm all caught up, ready for Halo 6 whenever Microsoft wants to announce that next year. Hopefully it's not as whack as 5. In all fairness, this whole series is kind of oof, but whatever. It's entertaining enough. But I never really got into the multiplayer because of the jumping around factor and the wild like gut factor. To me, that all that was like, this is just a little bit too much. Like I am not good enough to do all that. Clearly, if you watch these videos, you can tell I'm pretty good with it. But I still enjoy going back to my Black Ops 1 and going back to Crisis and shooting people from up top when they're down low and using those kind of simple stuff that always worked, you know, in any sort of war, whether it be virtual or real or not. Getting the high ground's always a good thing, you know. Shout outs to the homie. What was the guy's name? Mao Zedong, the guy who wrote the Art of War? I can't remember. Whoever the hell wrote the Art of War. Mao Zedong? I don't know. Wrote the Art of War, man. Shout outs to the homie, man. Always said try to keep the high ground, man. That's what I try to do on my day of my life. So we'll look back on those days and we'll see that Call of Duty at that point kind of permeates popular culture as well as our mindshare a lot more than any game can. Not necessarily because the game is better or worse, as arguably this game is better than the rest of the games by a large margin, but just because we as a society are at a different kind of point where we can't buckle down and put all the eggs in the basket anymore for Call of Duty. Hopefully that made sense. I really was planning on going in an angry little tangent towards where we're evolving as a community for Call of Duty, but hey man, I'm excited for the next game. Hope you guys are too. Until then, Black Ops 3, deuces.